Welcome back to another video, guys. We're gonna talk about the winter setup on the C63 and how you can actually winter drive a 500 plus horsepower car for a pretty decent price. Let's go for a little rip. Let's go for a little coffee run. And I got some information to give you guys. We will get some clips there. So one thing I noticed about all C63s, or a lot of Mercedes in general, it'll always say 12-volt battery low. But if I tested the battery, I've checked the battery, and nothing's wrong with the battery. It just happens in cold temperature. It's all icy outside and whatnot. So I don't know if it's just a cold thing, but if you start up the car, it starts perfectly fine. It starts perfectly fine, see? Don't mind the engine light. That's from the O2 sensors. I still got to get the tune done in March, which I have it scheduled for in March because I don't drive this car as much, and of course I don't want to be spending that much money on a tune right away after the downpipe, so that's what I waited for. But in general, no issues with the battery now. So it's really weird how this car kind of shows a low battery sign and nothing happens. It's never really low. So I'm going to talk about the winter setup on the C63, how I managed to drive this car 95% of the time. What I've done to this car majority of the times, you guys can do at a good price, a budget, keep it OEM plus, but something that makes the car better but not unusable. And I'll tell you the pros and cons of certain things I've done and I wish or maybe could have changed and should have changed. So with my C63, I kind of drive this car 90% of the winters. I do have an SUV at home, so that's the first thing. But I wanted to tell you guys how I kind of made it winter-proof as much as I could while still being able to enjoy the car, and how I saved some money on certain aspects of things, okay? So the first thing I did for the winter was winter tires. I actually got Nexen tires, Nexen Windguard tires Sport 2s. And I have Michelins on all my cars, but after a couple of months of research and really trying to figure out what tire I should get at a budget, because I didn't want to go spend crazy Michelin money on a tire on a car that I'm not going to use when it's like crazy amount of snow outside. Most of the time I'm driving when it's either dry or maybe a centimeter or two, right? That's really what I do with this C63 on majority of its drives. So I ended up finding these Nexen tires, which is a South Korean brand, and they're actually OEM tires for a lot of South Korean cars. So they're high performance tires, and they cost me about $1,100 Canadian after taxes installed. And I really loved the way that they just kind of handle, sound, do everything. And frankly speaking, like I said, again, I love my Michelins. I'm not saying they're comparable to Michelins, but 95% there. Like, I don't see much of a difference for 90% of my daily driving. So it's been really good. Car has been able to handle its staggered setup too, and like these tires have done a phenomenal job. And you know, these cars, they eat up tires like crazy. But as I said, this car doesn't really go through winter where I'm going through like 20-30 centimeters of snow, so that's never an issue. And then what I did was I got the car wrapped in a passionate purple color. I chose not to do a lip or side skirts or anything of that sort on this car, just because I know daily driving, those things break, and I got the other cars to have fun with anyways. So yeah, like, that's the two main things that were on the outside, and then we'll go inside and I'll tell you guys what we did, because it's really cold outside. So I don't want to be out here freezing my tail off. So before the winter, I was able to find a good set of downpipes, and I got that on this car, and the total cost of that was around 600 bucks for installation, and the downpipes were around 800. For the tune, I have a tune booked in March. I was supposed to get it before, again, with life just been okay, but car's drivable, not an issue. Takes like a couple minutes to warm up, drives perfectly fine. As I said, the tune's more triggered with the O2 sensors not being properly calibrated to the downpipes, so I can get away with it for a little while, which is perfectly fine with me, because I've had previous cars that I've driven a little while before I got tuned, never an issue. The other thing that I really love about this car is that even though it is a rear-wheel drive sedan, it isn't that hard to drive in the winter if you really need it. It's like a regular car in snow mode, so you can change the snow mode from here. You can put it into snow mode this way right here, and it really makes everything, like the power is reduced, drive, basic, comfort, and so it makes everything kind of more subtle. The power just comes on way less, way quicker. You're able to handle it a lot better. So in a snowy situation on the road, that's what I do. I put it in snow mode, and with the winter tires, it handles really well. And the last thing I did in the interior that really saves you in the winter is WeatherTech mats. So I did WeatherTech mats all around, and I did WeatherTech mats in the back as well. And then I did a seat cover, obviously, for the back end right here, for my son's baby seat when I do need to take him in there. Now, the one thing I have been doing with this car religiously is changing the oil around 5,000 to 6,000 kilometers since new. So that's been one thing. Obviously, I made a video about the front radiator, auxiliary radiator that cools the transmission. If you guys want to check that out, I'll link that below as well. But that was a problem that I had to solve. But really, besides that, the maintenance has been pretty good on it. It has about 88,000 kilometers on it, so I don't know what that is in miles, but in 88,000 kilometers, just spark plugs, coils, fluids. The previous owner, when I bought the car, he had done the brake pads and rotors. So to be honest, like maintenance wise, it's been pretty good for what it is. Now, my regrets for this car, but I don't really regret it like the way that you think, like, you know, oh, I shouldn't have done it. But if you're gonna daily drive this car and you want to lower this car, I went with H&R springs. I was highly suggest a coilover setup. My thinking behind that was my friend was selling H&R springs for like a pretty decent price, and honestly, I just wanted to lower the car a tiny bit, just with the wheels and spacers that I put on. So what I did was I just put those springs on and kind of calibrated them with some spacers, and it kind of made everything really good. But if I had to do it again, I would probably skip out the springs completely and go with a coilover setup. And it's because then you can raise the ride height in the winter time. The car is a little low, so it takes away from the functionality of it in really deep snow. I think I'm really comfortable with this car up to like 5 to 6 centimeters of snow on the ground. If it's like the puffy snow or you know, but if it's like hard slush and whatnot, I don't want to be out in more than that. Most of the time, as I said, 95% of the time, this car is not being driven in heavy snow. It's being driven, most of our winters, as I said, is like this. It's dry winter days with flurries, a little bit of snow patches here and there. So I exactly know what I'm using the car for. So in the context of daily driving, that's what I mean by that. But if you're really like, if this is your only car, I would highly suggest do not lower the car, because once you lower the car, the clearance becomes a huge issue, and then obviously it just makes it harder in the deeper snow. The other thing I really like about the setup with the downpipes and no tune, but when I get the tune, even it shouldn't make that much of a difference. So in terms of this setup, AMG Performance exhaust is what this car came with. So with the AMG Performance exhaust is valved, and then you have downpipes. Now those two combinations I think are perfect. Like right now my car has the valves off and it sounds like pretty quiet, like there's no drone, it's not loud. I open the valves up and it becomes a lot louder, but it's not like tremendously bad to your ears. As I got older, I think I'm appreciating that type of sound more and more. So that's definitely one thing I'd do, and not go for a full exhaust setup on these cars if you don't have to. car's still not fully warmed up yet, sorry. But let's see how it is once it's fully warmed up. Alright guys, let's give it a shot. Crazy thing is, the transmission's still warming up fully, man. That's insane. And this is in automatic mode, but in Sport Plus, look at the downshifts. In Sport, it doesn't have the aggressive downshifts, but it still has the aggressive behavior of the car. But in Sport Plus, it actually downshifts quite a bit nicely. Trying to give you guys a different POV type of point of view, just so you can kind of see it from my angle here. Put it into manual, all you got to do is just press the M button here, and then it'll give you the M as the transmission setting. Alright guys, so just gonna be taking the C63 back to the wrap shop. I was driving and parking in a parking lot. It was really icy and I scraped the side skirt over the ice, so unfortunately there's a little two pieces. I think it might be from the ice, and so now I gotta drop it off to the wrap shop, and he said that he has some material and he can wrap that up. Alright guys, thanks for watching the vlog. Got the C63 side skirt wrapped again. Oopsies happened, you know, it's all good. Winter time, a little bit here and there. Make sure you guys subscribe, like, and comment, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Take it easy. Peace.